Okay, so that behavior-driven development means it has taken from the TDD. And TDD means basically first you will write the automation test case even the development is not completed also. And you will run the test cases and failure test cases will be fixed by the development team. Then they will start the coding. Based on the failures, they will correct the code, application code. And that's the TDD approach. So minimum amount of coding at least should be there. Minimum amount of coding is there in the development, but not completed. Such cases, first you will finish the automation test cases and then you will run them. Then development team will make a little bit of tweak on the coding and to make the failed test cases pass. That's a TDD. From TDD, BDD has come up. In the BDD, first you will give a priority which features need to be delivered. Then you will write a plain English readable format, which scenario you are automating step by step. Step by step, you should not jump. Step by step you will write. That's a BDD. And also it reduces the gap between developer, technical and non-technical people. You have to say technical and non-technical people. They can see also, okay, what scenario you automate. Business people, they know, right, what is the scenario. English they can read, so they can see the scenario, what scenario you are automating. So that's the BDD approach. So BDD is basically, it has a lot of tools will support. And that one of the famous tool is Cucumber tool. So BDD is a framework. BDD is an approach, methodology. Like hybrid data-driven, keyword-driven methodologies or frameworks are there, right? BDD is another methodology, a framework. BDD also one framework. Don't say I don't know BDD framework. BDD is another framework. That BDD approach is supported by Cucumber tool. So Cucumber is a tool which supports the behavior-driven development framework. Basically, initially it was written in the Ruby, then it supports all the programming languages. And why Cucumber means it's an open source tool, free to use. And with Cucumber, you can write test scripts in multiple languages, Java, Ruby, .NET, Python. It also integrates with the Selenium, Ruby on Rails, Vatir, and other web-based testing tools. Cucumber is one of the most widely used BDD tools. There are other tools also, Protractor, JBehave, so many other tools also there, this behavior-driven development support. Okay, so not only Cucumber, you have so many tools are there to support behavior-driven development framework. Okay, so one of the tool of the behavior-driven development is Cucumber tool. You can integrate with the Cucumber, Selenium also you can integrate. Basically, you're writing Selenium and also Restassured also you can write in the BDD format. So what is this BDD format? So this is the one. 3 modules only will be there in the BDD format. Only 3 modules. So what are the 3 modules? Feature file, step definition file, test runner. So what is feature file? So feature file means first you will write your scenarios. So there are Gherkin keywords are there. So Gherkin keywords are there. Gherkin keywords means feature, scenario, given, when, and then. Feature, scenario, given, when, and can be used there in the given after also, when after also, then after also. So that I'll tell you when to use and. So given, when, then is the keywords Those keywords are called Gherkin keywords. So what are the Gherkin keywords? Feature,
scenario, given, then, and then.
And then. And also, but also there, background also there. So many other scenario outline, one more is there. Scenario outline. Scenario is a one keyword. Scenario outline is another keyword. So this is the Gherkin keywords we call this. So how you will write your scenarios is in the Gherkin format. And so one feature may contain many scenarios. I already told in the Agile process. A feature may contain more stories, right? Like a feature may contain more scenarios. That's a feature. So you can write your feature file for each feature. One file you can create, but the feature file extension is dot feature extension will be there. So what is the extension? You should have
Dot feature
extension. And your feature name you will write feature name dot feature. This is the file name. How to create a file in Eclipse? You know, right click on the package or folder, new file, then give the file name, feature name, then extension should be dot feature. So the feature file inside, you have to write all this. So feature name, scenario, given, when, and then. So when you can write a given, any preconditional steps, every scenario must have a preconditional step, right? So the precondition step is mandatory generally. So that first you will start with a scenario keyword. After you will write a scenario name. Then you will write a first step. First step, a precondition step. That precondition step you will start with a given, G capital you have to give. Given space, one space, then your step name. Precondition. For your test case, what is the precondition? If you want to run your test case in Selenium, what is the precondition?
To launch the browser.
You have to launch the browser. So that launching the browser is your precondition. And when. So when is mainly used for any actions. What are the actions you will perform on the web page?
Click action.
Type.
Send keys.
Click, type.
Click to type.
Submit.
Send data. Send data or type, both are same.
Select.
Select options from drop down. Checking the check boxes, clicking on a link.
Radio buttons.
So these are all the actions, right? That action related steps are there in your scenario. You have to use one keyword. First time only use one keyword. The subsequent calls you will use and keyword. Subsequent actions you will use and keyword. Instead of doing every time when, no. Subsequent actions you will write with the and keyword. So you have to use the and keyword. Okay. That is this. So then all is given when and then these are the keywords we are using. So then when you will use, to validate your output, expected and actual outputs. That time we will use a then keyword. So then is used. If you want, you did a action. So what is the next? Your next verification. That verifications you can do with a then keyword. Verifications you can do with a then keyword. That's a then. So given, when, and then. That's the feature file what you have. So you will write one feature may contain one more scenario also. One more scenario, same file you can write multiple scenarios in the one feature file. Like that you can create a multiple feature files. Clear? Any questions here before jumping on to the second module? Step definition module.
The step definition, we will, here also we are writing the when actions and all. No?
Where?
The feature file.
Feature file you will write plain test cases, test case steps. So test case steps you will write in the feature file. Like, open the browser, click on sign in link, and enter username, enter password, click on and enter and click on login button. This they will do. This is the when section they will come. Then you have to verify the home page is displayed. Then verify the home page is displayed or not. That's how we will write.
Okay.
These are all plain English steps, right?
Okay.
That's the how we will test cases steps will be there.
Here
So
we will. Okay.
then once the steps are written here, we are going for the step definition now. The primary goal is feature file is the primary point. The starting point, this should be there. Once this is done, then you will go to step definition. In the step definition, what you will do? You will implement the each step inside the step definition file. You will implement the each step in the step definition file. Implement means this. You are writing the code for this step. If it has to execute, what you need to do? You have to write a code, right? The code you will develop in the step definition file. So feature file plain English test case steps. But you have to use a Gherkin keywords. Plain you should not write it. Given, when, and then. You will use any one of them. In the step definitions, you will develop this step in the step definition file.
Okay. So here we won't use test-ng.
You can use a test-ng, you can use a JUnit, any one of them. So I have shown test-ng, right? I will show here JUnit, okay?
Okay.
So we have used already test-ng. So I will show here JUnit. So that's the step definition. What you will do? You will implement the each steps in the feature file. If any step, if you miss also, your test script won't run. It will check each and every step in the feature file. The mapping will happen. Every step you have to map here. If you are not mapping, then it will fail. And once all the steps are implemented in the step definition, you will mention in the third module, test runner, what is the location of your feature files. One folder you will create, a feature folder. Under that folder, all feature files you will create. And then you have to give your step definition file location also in the test runner. Test runner is basically a kind of setting file. So where to look for the feature files, where to look for the StepName files. So what are the configurations, all this. So you will mention in the test runner file. How to run your test, that is the runner file. Basically, you have to give a brief introduction, okay, in the BDD. So what is a BDD? Just define. So BDD is so it's mainly focuses on the priority of the feature, delivery of the features. And also it gives a clear picture to the technical and non-technical people. And then it will reduce the gap between technical and non-technical people. We'll write a plain English, clear steps you will write. Each feature will be described in plain English. And so the BDD is supported by Cucumber 2. So the BDD has 3 modules. One is feature file, StepDefinition file, runner file. So feature file will write a scenarios for each feature in a Gherkin format. Feature, scenario, given, when, and then. Format you will write. StepDefinition, you will develop those steps using Selenium code, or if it is API, you will use a Restassured framework. So a runner file, you will mention, okay, where to look for the feature file, the path of the feature file location, where to look for the StepDefinition files, you will give the StepDefinition file location, and where to create a reports, any groups are there, how to run the groups. So these are all things will be mentioned here in the runner file. That's this Cucumber architecture. Okay. Now let's go and define one by one and understand. A feature file is a file with a .feature extension, which describes the feature to test in easily readable descriptive programming language. And feature file contains multiple scenarios. You can write multiple scenarios for a particular feature. It's an entry point for the Cucumber test cases. First, you have to prepare the feature file. So this file where you will describe your test cases in the plain English. So that's the feature file extension is .feature. Okay, that's one. And you will write in the feature file, the scenarios you will write it. This is a simple syntax. So you will write in the Gherkin language. Gherkin language is nothing but a feature, scenario, given, when, and then format. And I have written here, don't worry, and you have to use only for when, don't confuse. And you can use given after, when after, then after also. So when you can use, if you want to join more than one conditions. So given, for example, given after there is a multiple preconditions. So first time only you will write a given. This step you will write, open a browser, you will write first step. Second step, and open the URL you will write. Right? That's a preconditions. But second time you will use and only, not given. Even though that is a precondition. So that means if you write a given after and, that and belongs to given only. Okay. Is it clear, that one? When you will use and?
If there are multiple conditions.
Multiple steps in the same
Steps.
Gherkin keyword below. Multiple steps you can say. Okay. If multiple conditions or multiple steps are there in the same given, when, or then after,
Then
so you will write an and keyword to join them more. So that is the given, when, then. So when describes, I already told the action to be which action you are performing. That action you have to represent with the when keyword. Then it's basically your expected and actual value verifications you will do with the then keyword. See, simple I have given here. Feature, search in google.com website. Scenario, navigate to Google website and perform search. So given I have browser window open, when I navigate to google.com and search for a cucumber. See, this is the action. Action after search for cucumber, I'm saying. Then I should see cucumber results page. So this is how we will write a feature files in the feature file inside. So this language about whatever the keywords you're using, these keywords are called Gherkin keywords. Clear? So once the feature file is ready, then you will move to step definition. So basically, a step definition is a small piece of code with a pattern attached to it. What patterns are? What is this? So this is the one. So your step name is there, right? In the feature file. Exactly, you have to write that step name, the Gherkin keyword name with annotation @ and the Gherkin keyword name, bracket, the step name you have to write within double quotes, caret symbol in the beginning and dollar symbol at the end. So that means exactly it has to look for this step in the feature file. It will go and look for that step name. If any lowercase, for example, you have given their lowercase, but you have written here capital letter, then this will fail. So make sure exactly you copy entire thing. So step name you put in the parenthesis inside and @ symbol before the Gherkin keyword before. This is the pattern I am talking. So a small piece of code, a pattern attached to it. So you can say a Java method in a class with an annotation above it. See, this is the Java method. Above it is annotated with a Gherkin keyword and with a step name. So public void user is on LinkedIn welcome page. So the same step name is your method name. You don't need to worry about what method name I need to give. You can give same as a step name, but every word join with underscore. That's your method name. So you write public access modifier and this, then throws throwable, and you write the code. This is how you will write in the step definition. So are you catching what you are doing here? How you are mapping the feature file data here? This is the mapping. And the code, this step code, you will develop in the method body. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, same way, @ when. That when step you write exactly. You go and pick from the feature file. You don't need to worry. Sir, where I have written, this is there in the feature file. That exactly you copy here. And every annotation, every Gherkin keyword before you put a @ symbol. That's a annotation pattern attached to it. This is the pattern attached to the method, Java method. See all the Java code, Selenium code I am writing here. So then that method, every method will end. Every step, one method will be there, one Java method. And that end after next step you will write. One method, one step inside, another step you should not write. Every step is independent. And that method above, the pattern should be there. And then you will write a public, and this step name itself is the method name. So this is the main concept of step definition file, how you will develop it. So runner file. So what is the runner file? A runner file is basically to run your scenarios, you will use this.
One question. So
Yeah.
in this pattern we are giving, right? Before given, when, then, and all like. So in the feature file, if we are giving when, here also it has to be step definition also has to be when and the same.
The step name, exactly. Step name, exactly.
Yeah, but when also should be like same. If it is action.
Same. That same you are copying here. That's it. You are not going to write your own.
Yeah, step
So this is
name
the
we are
action,
copying.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, this is the step, right? You will copy this entire thing and converting into this format. See how I am going to convert that. See how I am going to convert this. Simply you put a @ symbol when before.
When, okay.
Then when after a parenthesis. Start parenthesis. Double quotes, caret symbols.
And the
Exactly,
step name.
you are not going
Dollar
to touch
symbol.
it all.
Dollar symbol.
Dollar symbol and double quotes
Double
in.
quotes.
That's it. Then you will write public
Void.
void.
Method name I navigate to
I
Google.
navigate to, I
With
underscore
underscore.
navigate to.
Same. I underscore navigate
Underscore. to.
underscore
Sir, I
two
should be
underscore.
small letter.
So sorry, whatever it is. No, you can write a small also if you want. Method you can write anything. Okay, not necessary. It has to be same. Okay,
There is no naming convention, sir. First letter should
you
be
can
small.
follow naming condition. Okay, but make sure the step is so having the same keywords.
Okay.
Here, no, however it is there, you can write it. Sorry, guys. And this is, you can follow that all if you want. So that's how you can write how google.com, not required. Just say navigate to Google. I navigate to Google. That's enough. So then you write the code. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this when after there is a and. For that also you have to use when only. Not and. You should not write and. Okay.
Okay.
So when only that. So make sure the and belongs to which one, which Gherkin keyword. When, given, then. So then that keyword only you have to write. You should not write and. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the you have to be very careful. So clear? Let's
Yeah,
move on to
clear.
the next one. Runner file. The runner file is basically it will look for the where is the feature file, where is the StepDefinition files. So what report you want, a report where you want to store, and what groups you want to run, and then so then it will show you the console output how you want it. So this kind of all configurations you can do in the runner file. So as a Cucumber uses a JUnit or test-ng, anything it can use, we need to have a test runner file. So with the annotations, we have @run with is the JUnit annotation. So which tells what is the runner class. So like, starting point for JUnit for executing test cases. So this is so all the import statements first. Then you will write @run with cucumber.class. This is the fixed code. You don't need to touch. So this annotation, these annotations, these are fixed. So cucumber options is the main thing. What are the cucumber options? If anybody asks, a lot of people I see, they don't know what are the cucumber options. Cucumber options means these are features, glue, plugin, dry run, strict, monochrome, tags. So features keyword is used to run the feature files. Glue is used for StepDefinition files. Plugin is used where to put the reports. And dry run, so you can see mapping. So this what it will do. Before running it will check first. If you put a true, first it will check the mapping is happened between the feature files and the StepDefinition file or not. Clearly it will check. And strict means very strictly it will check. It will print for you if it is not mapped. So that's why while using these keywords, make sure you don't want to stop your test case or something. But make sure you want a strict check. So all the steps are implemented or not, you want to check. and you can put a true, all these things. Then monochrome, if you put a true, it will display the console output very readable format. Otherwise, all special characters and it won't be in readable format if you put a false. So make sure you put always this true. And there is a tags. Tags means you can categorize your scenarios in the feature file with @smoke, @regression, like that, right? That which tag you want to run, you can run with the tags concept. Clear? That's all about that. So I already explained this, everything. Dry run, show features, you will give feature. Glue, you will mention step definitions. Monochrome, I already told. Row, you can give. Features, it already told. Glue, I already told. Plugin. Plugin is mainly for reporting purpose. So this is the HTML report you want, HTML : the folder name you give, it will go and stored in that folder. JSON, if you want a JSON format, JSON : folder name, cucumber.json you give. It will go and store in the Cucumber file. Plugin, so JUnit : folder name / cucumber.xml. XML file, it will JUnit, basically JUnit.xml with cucumber.xml we are calling here. Cucumber.xml file will generate in this folder. So at the tag name, that's what I told you, right? We can run the Cucumber test using tags. Under Cucumber option, specify the tags equal to, within double quotes, at the tag name you give. Automatically it will run that. That tag name related scenarios will be executed for it. Okay? Good. Now let's understand what is scenario and scenario outline. You need to understand scenario outline. So scenario outline means if you want to do a data-driven testing in the BDD Cucumber or BDD approach, you will use a scenario outline keyword. In the test engine, how we are doing a data-driven testing?
By
With the
using
data provider.
Data
provider. At the rate test.
At the rate data provider.
Is data driven, is it?
Data provider only you have to use. First you have to use a data provider. Without data, what you will do in the test method? First, data, the answer is a data provider. How can you do data-driven testing in TestNG? And means you have to give answer using data provider annotation. That's the answer. Then you will map to the test method. That's a secondary. But first thing is you will do data-driven testing with data provider annotation only. So that to do a data-driven testing in BDD, you are going to use a scenario outline with a examples table section. Okay, so that's the scenario outline. So scenario outline must be followed by example section. So you have to give this is the username and password. So this is used to run the same scenario for 2 or more number of sets of data. Then you will use scenario outline. Same scenario you want to run multiple times with different sets of data. You will use scenario outline. All scenario outlines have to be followed with the example section. Example section is mandatory. If you take the scenario outline must be followed with the example section. Then what is the difference between scenario and scenario outline? This is another interview question, right? Scenario represents the single scenario, but scenario outline will represent the same scenario can be run with multiple sets of data, and scenario outline is followed with the example section table. This example section table you won't get in the scenario. Clear between scenario and scenario outline?
Clear, sir.
Yes.
Next, the table must have a header row. This is the parameter you will write here in the steps. So this parameter name is your header name. Another parameter name is your header name. Clear?
Yes.
So how you will get this header? This header is your parameter. Angular brackets, you will define the parameter. You will write angular brackets, you will write like this. So this is the one. So this every parameter in the that comes in the example section. Clear?
Yes.
How you will represent the parameters? Angular
Angular
brackets inside.
brackets.
That's a parameter. That means you are giving this username value in the example section. This is the test user one time. Then same time password will take. Then second time test user 2, that password will take. Second run. First run, this is the one. So all first run will finish. Then next second run, this data will take and run all the scenario. This is example section is for the scenario outline. Example section is for entire scenario, not for a single step. Entire scenario, this one. Clear? Now, so I'm entering in another concept. Sir, I want to give only for particular step test data. How can I give? That is data table concept. So how can you give for a particular step inside, particular step below? If you give a data, that data is applicable only for that step. That is called data table concept. So we'll pass the test data using data table and handle it using a raw. Okay, that's a as list method we are using now. Raw method no more. As list method we are using. That I have to update this. So scenario, successful login with valid credentials. Given user is on home page. When user navigate to login page and user enters credentials to login. See this step below. Pipe symbol, you are going to use pipe symbol. These are all pipe symbols, guys. Pipe symbol. Do you know where is the pipe symbol in the keyboard?
Above the enter.
Above the
Sir.
slash.
Above the enter.
Space button below, sir.
Below the
Backspace button below.
Backspace button below, vertical line is there. That's a
Yes, sir.
pipe symbol. That is the pipe symbol. So that, see here, are you observing here the difference here and here? You are giving it this data for this step. This data is not applicable for other steps. This data is only applicable for this step. This is called data table concept. Good. Then
Sir,
how to call in the step?
multiple sets of data for one step.
This is what, this is the step, right?
Hmm.
That step below you specify this. This is the data, this is the username and password. You have to say, why this is the pipe symbol you start, then your data. Then pipe symbol, then your second data. In pipe symbol in between, you give your data. This is the one row. How many columns? So one column,
2 columns.
second columns. So one row like that, you can mention multiple rows also you can give here.
Hmm.
So, but this is in the feature file you are specifying this. But how to call in the StepDefinition file? This is the concept. So that method, right? This method you will write, right? That method you write. The way data type is a data table and variable name. So I'm going to call user credentials dot as lists method will give you list of string. What is list of string? Why list of string? So this has a multiple columns. This is one row, one list. Say multiple columns means another list. So that all are string format that will store here. In the data list, it will store, data collection, it will store. Then now in this entire data will come and store in this data array, data collection. Now, if you want first this data, what is the first row, first column? See, first row, first column. How can you get the collection data, list collection data? What method you need to use?
Get method.
Method.
Get method. So collection name dot get of first row means 0, 0, and first column means 0. So that means this value you will get it here. If you want this second, same first row, first collection dot get of 0, and this is the second column, get of 1. So this is the how to get this data. Like this, if you multiple, if you have, all will store here. Then only change will come in the index numbers. So this is the how you are going to read the data from feature file, your particular step data. How you can read with the data table concept you have to use. How can you read particular step data? Which one you have to use?
Data
table. So data table is the data type and variable name. So below you write the code. So data table name dot as lists. So as list, when you can use this plural, when you can use if we have multiple columns. Multiple, more than one column is there, you have to take as list method. There is a method, as list method is there. As list method also there. That time you don't need to write a list of list. Only one data is there. You can use as list method.
So for that particular example you showed above, we can use this because it has only one column.
No, where is the one column here? Two columns, right? This one. This is the one column and this is the another column.
Okay.
Two columns are not this one. This is the one column and this is the another column, right?
Okay.
So instead of you remove this, only one data you are giving like this. That time you will use this concept. Only one data is there. One data in the pipe symbol, in the pipe, in between the pipe. This is not there. That means only one data.
Okay.
That time you will use as list method. If more than one column is there, then
As list.
As list.
clear.
Okay, but how we are going to specify for the scenario outline examples, like how we are passing? You showed Angular.
This is the example section, right?
In
Automatically,
feature,
this you in the feature in the step definition you are asking. This is the one header. This is another header, right?
yeah.
Every parameter will come there as a method parameters. You will write a method, right, for that step.
Yes.
You will write a method or not parameter for that. You will write a method, right, every step.
Okay.
So this,
Yes,
this is the step, right?
Yeah.
This is a step or not?
Yeah,
In the
that's a
feature
step.
file. For this, what you will do, you will write one method, right? So this example, for example, you are writing a method, this one as it is, okay? Here, there is one pattern will come. So one pattern will come, that is okay, that pattern I will show you, okay? And this is ending. Then below you will write a method, right?
Yes.
So method you will write, right? That method. So for example, method, whatever it is, okay, that method. And here you will write a string, username,
String password.
You will get like that. Then automatically value from there, you will get it.
Okay, here we no need to specify anything like data table we were passing for that
No
one.
need, no need.
Okay.
Automatically you're getting from there. While developing, you will write like this. What parameters? This is the parameter, right? This is the parameter. This is the parameter 1 now. This is the parameter 2.
Okay.
That's what I am writing in the method. You will write a parameters, right? First parameter, second parameter.
Okay.
That's it. That's how you will write in the step definition file. Okay, are we good?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this is all the concepts of you need to know this. So I have given here what is the difference between scenario outline and data table. So scenario outline is for entire whole test, and that scenario outline is followed by example section. So data table is for particular step, you can provide the test data, and you will call with a data table dot as list method you will use. That you can mention that. Okay, in the interviews, these are all questions they're asking. And also they will ask what is the difference between a scenario and a scenario outline. Another question they will ask. So those things mainly, and tomorrow we'll develop the Maven framework. Okay. For the Restassured framework, we'll write tomorrow. Please go and read. This is a very important BDD Cucumber. Very, very important. So many companies are using BDD approach.